experiences which I had with him was not pleasant. And I felt bad about it because I can't find any reason from my side that things have gone wrong. I've always respected my seniors and
Was it like this to everyone, or just because you were seeing, you noticed?
see, eventually a lot of players have come out and said a lot of things.
Hello my YouTube family, I am Neil once again with a very special episode on Over the Line with Neil. Today with me is a very special guest, someone who was sidelined from the Indian cricket team after scoring a century. Not every day do you score 100, but when did you hear the last time that an individual got dropped the very next game and for 14 games at a stretch? For many years, Manoj Tiwari has remained silent, has not uttered a word, has not raised questions, has not come out in public or in an open platform to discuss or share his views on why was he sidelined. He has a few question marks that has to be answered. Today, come along to hear from the man himself on how things transpired with Manoj Tiwari's cricketing career. So on this wonderful, wonderful evening, as you've already guessed it, who is my guest on Over the Line with Neil? I am your host, Neil, and I'm joined by the one and only Manoj Tiwari. Hello Manoj, how are you?
Thank you very much. I am doing good by God's grace, and I don't agree with one and only thing which you just praised me with, but life has been good, so no complaints.
Like I always do, I ask my dear guests, like, with all that's happening around, are you in a good space? Are you in a happy space? Because we see Manoj Tiwari, the cricketer, the politician, but we don't see the human side of you. Of course, that's in your private space. But I hope you're in a good space right now.
Absolutely, and that's the reason I'm doing this podcast with you. Otherwise, I would have not done that. But having said that, like I said, there is no complaints as such. God has always been kind, and I've got a beautiful wife, a son and a family and friends, very few, but those people make me happy, and they make sure that I'm in a good space also, and in return back they also want me to keep them in a space where they are happy. So it's a vice versa thing, but pretty happy at the moment.
Manoj, first and foremost, from all of us here, we really want to thank you for giving your valuable time, because although you have retired, but he's still on the field back again. As you can rightly see, he's wearing the cap of Harbour Diamonds. The Bengal Pro 20 is going on. There was a game yesterday which you guys won. And not just playing, you're captain again. And one thing I would really like to highlight for all our viewers at Over the Line with Neil, who are tuning into this very special podcast with Manoj Tiwari, is that your captaincy record, you're one of the most successful captains in the Indian domestic circuit. Now, what people don't realize is that how tough the Indian domestic circuit is. You might have not got your hands on the Ranji trophy, but as far as win percentage is concerned, you're just right up there. And for Bengal, you're one of the most successful captains ever. You've won the Vijay Hazare trophy, you've done well for East Zone. Hence why you were also trusted with the captaincy of India A. So how do you look back with everything that has gone on, every side you played, the captaincy role was trusted upon you?
At a very young age, to be honest. But before saying anything, I would want to thank you for having me in your podcast Over the Line with you, Neil. Because I have seen your few episodes where I found pretty good contents, and you got the best of all the guests of yours. At a very young age, as far as captaincy is concerned, it was given to me. So when I played for under-19 Bengal, I did really well with the bat. So there was one tournament, the East Zone tournament, which happened, and I remained not out in all the games. And I was the captain of East Zone, and our team ended up being second. So from there onwards, the selectors of under-19 Indian team identified me as a player and someone potential captain as well. So from there, they gave me the under-19 India captaincy. So during those days, then there was a England series which happened. England came to India under 19s, and I was the captain. And under my captaincy, Rohit Sharma played. Pujara was there, and then now one famous singer, Harry Sandhu.
Harry Sandhu,
He used to play as well. He used to bowl really quick. Uh, he was there, and few other bowlers were also there. Cricketers were also there. So from there onwards, it all started. Then when I came back to Bengal, I got picked in the senior team in the one days.
Okay.
I had
Which
to wait.
Hazare was it?
At that time, it used to happen in the name of
Salve
Wills Trophy.
Wills Trophy. Okay.
So
Way back.
way back. So I was entrusted with the captaincy before the game. So suddenly something happened with within the coach and the captain and the management inside. Then Deep Bhai was the captain.
Deep Das Gupta.
Yeah. So suddenly out of nowhere, they both called me near the bathroom area, and they asked me whether you want to do it captaincy or not. So being a young guy, and I had the experience of leading into other levels, and in under 19 India, I said, yeah, why not? Leading Bengal is a honor and a privilege to lead Bengal, represent your state, and from there onwards it all started. And like you mentioned that I have been very few individual who has won domestic titles couple of times. So Syed Mustaq Ali twice, one with Bengal, one with East Zone, and Vijay Hazare with East Zone. And East Zone games are really tough because all the national players, international.
It's the best of the zone come together.
Absolutely, and sometimes all the international players who represent India, they comes and play, so it becomes more competitive. So we being the champion, you know how it is. East Zone, nobody gives a chance to East Zone because they look at East Zone as someone as a weakest zone. But we proved them wrong, and luckily, I would say I was lucky to be the captain of that team, and a captain is as good as its players. So all the players really did well, and we ended up being champions a couple of times.
Manoj, you just said something which really was very important for all of us to know, that a lot of people don't really give East Zone, or they don't look at East Zone in a manner that they should. You coming from Bengal, someone a homegrown player, Bengal's hero. Sometimes they say that a state needs that hero. I think Harsha Bhogle once said that Bengal needed Saurav Ganguly at that time. After that, there were few players who played for India. You said Lakshminarayan Shukla, you had Deep Das Gupta, and a few others. And then there was a glimmer of hope. There was the Ashok Dindas and Mohammad Shami and you. You think somehow you've said that many a times in the past, Bengal players have been sidelined for whatever reason it may be. Did you feel if Manoj Tiwari belonged to Delhi or Mumbai with same amount of capabilities, you would have got a bit more of a preference, if that makes sense?
Absolutely, I would have got more opportunities, and it's an open secret, Neil. See, after scoring 100 for your country, getting man of the match in an international game, and you will not expect to get dropped for the next 14 games, and that games happened over a period of 6 months. So when a guy who's scoring 100 misses out on next 14 innings, so you can imagine. So sometimes, looking back at all the players' career and journey, if you analyze, there are so many players who could have easily played for India if they were from other states. There is no doubt about that we have been overlooked. So that's the fact. But now the games are covered in social media as well. So it's not quite easy to just sideline or overlook the performances of individual. But in our time, when we were in the reckoning, those times social media was not so was active, didn't have the voice. Now it's very difficult to sideline. So you see a lot of youngsters who does not even play the state level. They suddenly play the state's domestic league, like Bengal Pro T20 happening, and in other states also there are so many leagues happening. someone comes from outside and starts playing well, and he gets noticed by the talent hunt guys who has been recruited by the franchises. They gets picked immediately, and that's how they utilizes that platform. So now it's good for the youngsters to get this opportunity and platform, and to maximize this opportunity and do better for themselves. And once they play the franchise cricket IPL,
They get the exposure.
they get the exposure, and automatically the state teams also can't overlook them as well. When they do well, then obviously when he comes back, then suddenly he gets into the preferences list automatically.
Manoj, you said that this is an open secret. Obviously, you've said that in an earlier podcast as well, very, very openly, and a lot of other cricketers have also come out with something very similar, that what they've experienced. Robin Uthappa once said in a podcast earlier that it's very important for a state to win the Ranji Trophy. Why? What he meant was, in 2014 when Karnataka won the Ranji Trophy, a lot of players, including himself, who made a comeback. You see the Manish Pande's, Arvind and Manish Pandey and all these players got a look in. So you think that, is he right in a way that sometimes we actually have to win the Ranji Trophy for a play, even KL Rahul for that matter, to get that kind of an attention? Or do you think this was just,
No, during those times, he's quite right in a way when we all used to play back then. Because like I said, social media was not
exist.
that
Not that
active,
big.
we are not big enough. Now you see a 100 get noticed and get more likes and retweets than earlier generation player used to score so many hundreds, never got that much of limelight or never came in forefront. That's because of the not having the media, social media outreach. But nowadays you cannot ignore any performances. So now it's not mandatory. I feel that you have to win a Ranji Trophy to get noticed. But yeah, if you get to the finals of a Ranji Trophy, so that's the one last game of the season.
yeah.
So all the eyes are on that particular match. So naturally, the more people will see the game, the more highlighted he will get. So those performances get noticed quite easily, and it gets into the head of the individual. So it's important to perform in that particular game where everyone, the cricket lovers, the selectors, everybody watches that game. That's why it's important. If you really want to make it to the next level, you must score all throughout the season, but most importantly, a brilliant match-winning 100 in a Ranji final. Even if you have not had a great season in the Ranji season, that one particular innings can change your career.
Just like it did yours in 2007, although Bengal didn't win, but do you think that was a life-changing innings for you? You were giving the nickname Chota Dada as well, I think.
Yeah, during that time, the media guys, they gave the name. But I have not thought about it that that particular innings, two innings in the finals have changed my career. But before that final, I had a great run till the finals.
you had a great
Scored a
season,
lot of runs. So that created a buzz amongst cricket lovers or in Indian domestic circuit, that there is a young guy who was captained under 19 India, did really well in those matches against England as well. I scored 100 and got man of the match, 8 wickets and all. So during junior levels, I used to bowl as well regularly. And obviously that created a buzz, excitement in all the cricket lovers. Then when they saw me attacking Agarkar and the Mumbai bowling attack where Zahir Khan was there, Ramesh Pawar was there, literally Indian bowling attack, and Sachin Tendulkar playing the game for Mumbai, Saurav Ganguly playing for us, and it created...
And the crowd was also packed.
All packed. They were packed because not of me playing.
Yeah.
That was because Sachin from Mumbai side and from Bengal, Ganguly was there. But if you see Bombay side, you see Wasim Jafar was there, Rohit Sharma was there.
Wasim Jafar at that time was playing for India.
Yeah, Amol Mozumdar was there. He was a domestic giant. And Sachin Paji, Zahir Khan, Ramesh Pawar, Ajit Agarkar.
Wow.
It was literally an Indian cricket team. So doing well against them and dominating till the time I was there in the crease. So yeah, gave me the little advantage. People started recognizing me, and I got a name, Chota Dada.
For that partnership.
And later on, after a few days, I got to know that Jeffrey Boycott was there on the ground as well with all the selectors. So when I was playing aggressive shots and scoring runs, I hit one over 4 fours of Agarkar.
This is at the Brabham Stadium.
Yeah, it was in the Brabham Stadium finals. So Ajit Agarkar ran through our top orders. So when I went into bat, naturally he was very aggressive when he used to bowl. So he shoved me with his shoulder when I played one boundary or something. And you know, at a young age, I was like very aggressive. So what you see me now, I'm a lot calmer now. But during that time, I never backed down. So naturally, I gave him a reply with 4 boundaries in 1 over. So later on, somebody who was sitting near the selectors and Jeffrey Boycott, they overheard the conversation that Jeffrey Boycott was telling the selectors, how come this cricketer is not in the Indian team at the moment?
With the Yorkshire accent.
Yeah, man. So I was very overwhelmed with his this thing. So that's how it all started. Then I got into the Indian team, and you know what happened in Bangladesh. So the luck was not in my side at that time, but yeah, the rest thing was like.
You've spoken about Bangladesh, Manoj Da, before, that luck wasn't in your favor. You go to Bangladesh, you get picked. Every kid that holds the bat or the ball, or both for that matter, they have one single dream, is to put on an India jersey. Lot of people get lucky. I mean, lucky would not be the right word to use. They reach to that level with a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice. But the same sacrifice, the same hard work is done by a lot of other people whose dream forever become a dream, forever remain a dream. But you finally get that dream to become reality. You have a practice session in Calcutta. You go with the Indian team. How did that firstly, tell me, Manoj, how did that first feel like? Were you numb in the beginning that, okay, hello, this is not a dream, this is not a television screen. You are in the Indian squad. And firstly, where did you get the news from? No social media again.
Well, I think the news during those times we used to get through media people only. So there used to be 1 or 2 media people out of so many. They used to keep you calling all the time. So that's how you start getting the bond together. You start trusting that individual. So I think from media people I got to know myself, and I think Ranadev Bose was also selected in the India camp which happened at Eden Gardens before going to the Bangladesh. So yeah, we had a couple of days of preparation here. Then I got selected for Bangladesh tour. And you know, as a youngster, you're all...
You want to impress.
You want to impress. You're all geared up. No matter what opportunity you get, whether in batting or bowling or fielding, you want to give your best, even in the practice session. So what happened? Yeah, I got selected, went to Bangladesh with the Indian team, and at that time I was very confident. I was not surprised by the call.
Was it very intimidating for a youngster to get into the dressing room and to see all your heroes surrounding you? Was that intimidating?
No, at that time I didn't felt like that.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe I was very confident. And since I had played with all these individuals in one of the games in the Ranji
Challenger
Trophy,
series
so I knew most of them. So you have that connect. So you don't feel little intimidated.
It was not something unfamiliar.
Unfamiliar. So yeah, it was easy. And you know, when the camp happened, I did really well with the bat. And I did well with the ball as well, because I remember I got Sachin Paji out in the practice, and Rahul Dravid as well in the practice, and Rahul Dravid also got hit in one of the net session. His nose got by RP Singh. One of the ball just jumped from the length, and he got hit, and he was rushed to the hospital.
Rushed to the hospital?
Yeah. You see now, if you see him closely, his face, notice his nose.
Okay.
So it's little bended now, and that
was from that delivery. And that happened in the nets, not at the game.
Not at the game. Wow. So yeah. So after doing well in the camp, so obviously Ravi Shastri was the cricket manager, not the coach. So when Indian team didn't qualify for the 27 World Cup in West Indies, so a lot of senior players were rested for this Bangladesh
Great Chapel
one day.
was already gone by then.
Gone. So in his place, cricket manager Ravi Shastri came in. He saw me as a youngster. He found me really talented, and he also predicted that I'll be the next big thing, which I got to hear, which I got to know later on, because a lot of articles came out and all. I don't have that articles with me, but people who read that have conveyed the message to me. So I was very excited and was raring to go, basically. You know, what happened a day before the game, I was told that I'm going to make my debut. And I was very confident because, you know...
This was the first game of the series.
First game of the series, and the 3 games which were supposed to happen in a span of 5 days. One game break, and then one game, and then off. 1 day series. So obviously I was told that I'm going to play, but I was not smart enough to not realize that you don't have to give more than 100% in a practice session just before a day of the game. And what happened in that particular practice session, I remember in the morning there was a drizzle happened in the ground, like in the area. And you know, as a good fielder, you'll see whosoever dives on a chest, okay, he just skids up, okay, because the ground is dry. But I didn't realize that, because in the morning there was a drizzle, the ground became a little wet.
You were practicing in the Bangabandhu Stadium itself?
Yeah. So all the players were, so couple of individuals like me and few others were, I think Gregory King was the trainer, he was giving boundary saving drills. So all the media people and all the people were enjoying my fielding session, and I was very good. I used to idolize...
Of course, you're one of the best fielders.
I used to idolize Jonty Rhodes and Yuvraj Singh. So I dived full length to stop the ball, and after diving I couldn't get up. My shoulder got stuck, and because of the wet condition, so the shoulder popped out. So I was not able to popped in back at that time. The physio rushed Andrew Lippers to pop it down. So I felt really bad pain, and I thought initially that I would take injection and play the games, but when the scan happened, MRI happened, and it showed that interior labrum was tear, and then he conveyed the message, boss, you will not be able to play.
This all happened in Dhaka only?
At Dhaka, yeah. So I had to fly back home, and disappointed. I felt very bad and started crying in the room in the night. Naturally youngster, the emotions came out, but that was with me only. I didn't show that crying face to anyone else outside. But yeah, when you reach home, and the people who are so connected with you, when they start crying, then you obviously get the feel that things have not gone well for me. But I looked at it in a different way. I thought, I took inspiration and motivation from the people who suffers more than which I got in the fielding session. I always think that there are so many people who are fighting for their lives in hospital, and there are so many...
This is what you thought back then. So young to even,
Yeah, because I had a very challenging and struggling upbringing, with family supporting the hard work which they have put in to make sure 3 of us, 3 brothers will do well, and they made sure that we get the best education, and everything was provided by our parents. So yeah, so that's how I've learned a lot of things over a period of time. So age is just a number, but the experience can happen from a very young age as well. So I looked at it in different way. I had 2 options, whether to just sulk the injury, thinking about it, or to just move ahead and rehab properly as far the guidance of NCA physios are concerned, BCCI's doctors are concerned, and then move forward and come back stronger.
And that is what exactly you did. This happened, the mishap happened in Bangladesh. This is something that we as cricket fans or viewers, we don't realize. If we are so quick to criticize, from the comforts of our living room, he could have played this shot, oh, why did he bowl
Yeah.
full length? But what goes on in a player's mind, and we are so quick to troll, to write all nasty things. It's so quick to just go on Twitter and say, oh, Jasprit Bumrah is this, Manoj Tiwari is that. But what a cricketer or what a sportsman goes through to that entire journey. It's of course it's a comfortable life from a distance, but thankfully now people are now talking about mental health and mental conditioning. It's tough sometimes, because injuries is something that's not in your hand.
Yeah.
So again, from all of us here, we would just like to convey a message that yes, social media is an integral part of our society right now. Let's just use it very positively to give our support to all our athletes and our players who've made our country proud. Now, Manojda, you make the comeback as strong as ever. The Australian tour comes up. The captaincy role has now shifted. The 2007 T20 World Cup has happened. It's not Rahul Dravid the captain anymore. It's MS Dhoni.
Yeah.
He's become this superstar sensation from nowhere. He was not even supposed to be the captain in the first place. I think Yuvraj Singh was the first preferred captain. Being the vice captain, that is how the procedure is in cricket or in any sport. Then the test tour happens in Australia, which you were not a part of. Then the ODI tri-series happens, CBC, which obviously India go on to win. You go there and finally you make your debut.
Right.
But in the debut, there's something really unusual that took place. Is that Manojda, that as we have seen, it's like not a rule, but a culture, you would say, that everybody, all the senior players, with the captain being the captain, hands the youngster or the debutant the first ODI or the test cap. And I think MS Dhoni did not give you the cap or did not do the ritual as he was supposed to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I sometimes I reflect back and think, yeah, what happened? How come he missed that a thing which normally a debutant
Ritual,
a ritual basically. So it's something where where every player dreams of making your international debut. And yeah, matlab, it becomes more special when you receive your cap from one of your legends. I'm pretty sure Sachin Paji was there. He would have requested Sachin Paji to give me the cap. He would have made my journey, my life more special in that way. I don't know what were the reasons. It's very difficult for me to find out a reason. But yeah, with so many things happening, this is also an addition to what has happened to me. Like he missed out giving me the India cap.
But you said somewhere that if you would meet MS Dhoni, you would ask him, why did you drop me after making 100?
Yeah.
Why didn't you ask him when you were playing? Was there some sort of a discomfort or were you like, okay, whatever best for the team is, combination, if they think I don't fit in, fair, I will sit down. Was that the thought? Or
Well, when I said that when I'll meet him next, I will definitely ask him what were the reasons. Why did not you communicate to me that this is where you are lacking, maybe, if that's the reason, or we wanted someone else with certain skill sets. So that would have made me more clearer in my mind. I would have gone back and worked hard and maybe come back stronger in that way. And I feel it's important to communicate with the players. I don't know now it happens or no, but I've seen a lot of players coming out and giving their opinions or statement where they have clearly mentioned that they were not conveyed, like in Karun Nair's case or a Murli Vijay's case or few others as well. And that question was asked me by the reporters when I announced my retirement from first class and international cricket. So yeah, you are right also that I had the opportunity to ask him when I was playing in Rising Super Giants, but it is very difficult. During the season, it is difficult to go up to him, and it makes
was he approachable to youngsters?
Yeah, he was approachable. His door is always open for the players to come in. But yeah, I was not someone who used to go and sit just for the sake of just be around a captain or a coach just to get some brownie points and get favored a little bit ahead of the others. I was always within myself. I was not smart enough in that those days. You can say it in that way as well, that I did not come like
Raise a voice.
raised a voice. Obviously, it's difficult because captains were so powerful that once you say anything, or even if you go and ask him some things, you don't know how he will react. If a captain is like gets disturbed by your question or feels bad about your question, which is genuine, by the way, you never know. That can obviously upset a captain, and captains are very powerful. They can make a player or break a player. So that hesitancy, that doubt was always there. And we belong to that generation where we always respected our seniors during those times. So we used to give space and lot of respect to our seniors. We always thought that koi baat nahi. We'll see how it goes. We'll work hard and come back again. We'll see how destiny plays a role in our life. So that's how I went ahead. But yeah, that answer which became a little viral amongst cricket fans or MS Dhoni's fans, कि why did Manoj needs an answer and needs an answer to a cricketer of his stature. But sometimes I feel like laughing that after spending so many years, 20 years first class non-stop, so many years of under 19, a couple of years of under 19, so many experiences with different 3 franchises, 10 years, so many runs I've scored. I don't want to remind people of how much I've scored runs, but in total, more than 20,000, close to 20,000 runs I've scored in all the formats. So,
At the highest level.
And more than 100 wickets are there. And 4 wickets I can't forget against Sri Lanka. All dangerous battles.
There was one video clip that also became viral. Then obviously social media didn't exist. But then after a few years where MS Dhoni was actually mocking your walking style. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was in that game itself.
Yeah, it was in
So
that game in Sri Lanka.
You guys had a good rapport. The coach comes from his zone.
So yeah, the rapport was always there. Like whenever he used to talk, we used to talk. Obviously, during your playing hours, basically during a game when you
It's intense.
travel, naturally there is always communication happens. And I also didn't realize that he mocked my running style or walking style.
Yeah, I think you looking back,
later on, I remember I got a run out. And so after that went viral. Even I don't recognize, still I don't believe that that's my walking style. But since he has done that, so it became more powerful and so more viral as well. So yeah, the communication was there that particular during the game time only. But the thing which happened later on, like after scoring 100, that happened later on.
Manoj, that you pointed something that you have not done before. You talked about the vulnerable side of yours, where you did break down after an incident of that sort happened even before your debut. I would like to ask you, what were you going through when you scored that 100? And again you said that we've all felt the injustice. Did you say to yourself, कि boss, ये अन्याय तो दूर की बात है, ये क्या हो रहा है? Like what does what does BCCI or what does the Indian cricket team want me to do? Score 1,000 in a game? Did you ever think that let's just call it a day? But did that ever come to your mind? Because at the end of the day, you're a human being.
So I really wanted to take retirement from international cricket after the tour, after the
Australia tour?
During the Australia tour, like basically after the Australia tour, when I scored 100 and there was a tour happening next to Australia. So where I was not...
Again the CB series.
Again the CB series where I didn't get a chance to play. So I was contemplating of taking retirement from international cricket. Then after few hours, obviously I had to rethink about it because if I took retirement, a lot of things were at stake. It is not only Manoj Tiwari's career, it is the lot of people who are attached to Manoj Tiwari going to get hampered. So the family was always dependent on me, their happiness, my wife, then girlfriend at that time. So many other people were also attached to my journey. So all of them would have felt really bad, and none of them would have agreed to what I wanted to do at that time. So I felt a little cornered at that time. And also in the next session, I was not given the proper batting hit. So, and you know,
So you felt you were being sidelined even in the camp ever, like?
I don't know. Well, I don't thought at that time, but when you realize that after scoring
years,
100, see, when I scored 100, you see the celebration of mine. I kissed the helmet, and I was literally,
You're very moved.
I was about to cry because I felt that there is a luggage which was on my shoulder, luggage of expectation, because I was identified as a next big thing. And before that 100, there were a couple of innings which I got in a different scenarios basically. Once I went to West Indies with the Indian team. I always used to get opportunity in the 4th game or the 5th game of the series. I don't know why, but that's how I got the opportunity. So in West Indies, once I was made to open the innings.
Yeah. St. Lucia, was it?
Yes. So I got out naturally. It's an opportunity, but it's not an ideal opportunity for someone who bats at number 4 or low in the middle order. Because the ball swings, and obviously if you're not accustomed to it, and if you get to know the last moment before the game that you're going to get the opening slot and there is no other slot for you, then naturally you don't say no to that opportunity. You say yes. So I took that opportunity, and playing for India is an honor. So you don't want to miss out on that. And anyway, I was not getting that opportunity earlier, despite scoring a lot of runs in the domestic circuit. So I did open, and you know, I got out for 2 runs. And then again, they thought that no, his best position is at number 4. So send him in the 5th game. So I scored 24 and got out.
In the West Indies.
In the West Indies. So those 2 innings happened, and I think there were one more inning somewhere happened in between. So then during those phases, you obviously doubt yourself as well. That what people are saying after those couple of innings, that this guy does not belong at international level. So things were coming into the ears, and also that affected me as well. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that I want to prove myself and also to the people who are thinking that I'm not good enough at international level. So when I got the opportunity, and I take this opportunity to thank Virendra Sehwag once again, which I normally do in every interview of mine, because he was the one who took rest from the 5th game of the West Indies series, which happened in India, after scoring a double hundred the previous game. And he told Gautam Gambhir that make sure that Manoj Tiwari bats at number 4. Because he bats at number 4 all his life. And if you want to give him opportunity, make sure that he deserves in his own place. And at that time, number 4, India was searching someone. Okay. So I'm really thankful to him that he made sure that I did play and play at the right position. So, you know, in the first over of that game, 2 wickets fell down. Parthiv and Ajinkya got out. So I rushed into the middle.
Was it Kima Roach?
Kima Roach, yeah. That bowling attack was very good.
Very good, yeah.
Andre Russell, Kima Roach, Sunil Narayan was there. Then one, I think some Martin was the leg spinner, and Darren Sammy was there. So suddenly I had to rush. No, Rampal was not playing that innings. That match he was not playing. So I suddenly rushed into the 22-yard because the wickets fell so quickly that I didn't have time to think about what's happening in the middle. Sometimes when you go with a blank mind, no, you tend to do well. So that happened with me. So I got a little lucky in that way that I didn't had to pad up and sit and think what the bowlers are doing. Then you start pre-planning, what needs to be done. So I was empty-minded, and I just played in the merit of the ball, and I was lucky. I would always say that I was lucky. God was kind to me, and the things which was happening to me previously, God must have felt also that this guy is going through some injustice. Let him give him 100 runs. So if you see, I got 104 in that condition, which was
You were
very
cramping.
hot. I was cramping. So that particular day, I was cramping in my whole body parts.
Okay.
So
from,
which was
from the beginning.
no, matlab
After-
in the
after,
game,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
sometimes you get cramp in your calf or a hamstring
Yeah, yeah.
or anywhere else. But that day, the cramps were happening throughout the body, like from
hot,
inside.
yeah.
So hot. So after scoring 104, still there were 12 or 13 overs were
Those
left.
left, yeah.
So I didn't bother to ask the umpire. I just went out of the ground just like that. So I thought that if I get
But you thought you could have carried on, or
no, I was not in a position. See, I am very no matter what, I never used to leave an opportunity to score runs because I've seen the phases where one run also
मुश्किल है.
मुश्किल से मिलता है कभी कभी when your bat is not like flow में नहीं हो तो so I have seen that phase as well and I know how important that's why somebody mentions how much I've scored runs na if he mentions a little less or some numbers I rectify that particular individual कि भाई मेरा इतना रन है इतना नहीं the people who plays top level they understand.
When you scored that 100, you had Virat Kohli at the other end.
Yeah, we had a partnership.
You had a partnership. Very good.
Yeah, we had a partnership. So Virat was all.
How is he at that time? Very competitive.
Absolutely, he's still now. That's competitive nature of his made him what he is today. And we had a good partnership from that day. We didn't posted a huge total, but we were.
It was called a winning total.
Winning total. So
were you guys, because you guys were of the same age group? And
no, not same age.
He's a
group.
bit
He's younger to me. He's younger to me. So when we won the CB series where I made my debut, so BCCI felicitated us in Delhi, Arun Jaitley Stadium. So where till before that under 19 World Cup happened and they won under Virat's leadership. So they were also felicitated in the
same day.
Same day.
Okay.
So that's how I get to know him.
What was the first interaction?
No, we didn't interacted much because he was a youngster, you know, and I was a senior guy at that time, so I was busy with all my teammates in the picture. So you know,
There are many pictures of you and Virat. It seems that very good camaraderie you guys had.
yeah, we had. So he also cut my hair in one of the India A tours.
Virat Kohli cut your hair?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Did you do the same as well?
No, he didn't allow me to do that because he was very sharp with his styling and all.
Okay. So are you?
Well, no, and I don't think so. But
In
yeah,
fact,
so
if you remember, so sorry to cut you, Manoj. Since you're talking about fashion, after you, I got a red Puma shoe. If you remember, I'll take the brand's name. It was in 2012 when the red shoes got really popular. If you remember the red bluish shoe, and you were doing the commercials for it on Star Sports. So you were the fashion icon. So I don't agree on that with you.
no, I don't know about the icon thing, but yeah, the red Puma shoe was very popular.
Very popular.
And in fact, Virat requested me to get one for him.
Yeah.
Which somehow I forgot to get it for him from Puma. But he also liked it at that time. And you know, he was a fashion guy. He used to love wearing fashionable clothes from that day onwards. So I remember one day in Australia where you don't get much DA at that time, daily allowances, and you hardly find any saloon where you go and get your hair done because the time is pretty limited and you have to search the store and go outside and there is
It's
a
like
practice
a curfew,
session.
is it? You have to be at the hotel.
No curfew as such, but you have to go and you have to come back in certain time because you have a practice session scheduled as well. So what he did, he said that I'm very good at hair cutting, so let me do yours. So I was like, ठीक है, चल Virat, Delhi guy, he must be knowing. So he cut my hair.
How was it?
Very good, in fact, yeah.
Wow.
So he did it with
So
like
anyone
full.
watching, you can give that Virat Kohli. You can trust Virat Kohli with hair.
Yeah, absolutely, and absolutely. He's always been a multi-talented guy. So he sings really well.
Okay.
I don't know.
He sang a few times on television.
He's very good at that. He's a very good dancer as well.
Yeah.
And his fitness, you know, he plays football really well, very competitive. So he's very good at many things.
Did you guys have any sort of deep conversations off the field in hotels? Or?
Not that deep because of the age gap. Uh, at that time, now it's a different thing. Now youngsters gets into the seniors zone, and they are also very happy to just interact with the youngsters, guide them. But those times,
There was a bit of
there was a gap as well. But yeah, whenever he used to come to Calcutta, he used to knock me at times. Ki kahan hai, nahi hai, and then there were a couple of instances where we met also. So I think, till that it was this thing. Then his graph went ahead. Then I was in and out of the Indian team. So, and I was very happy for him because I saw that hunger, dedication, discipline.
You saw that?
Yeah, in his eyes, because he was not physically that fit in the beginning, where you can obviously see his early days videos and pictures. But now you see he has changed that completely, brought that fitness culture in the Indian team when he was the captain. And now he's become more disciplined in his life. So pretty happy for him from where he has come up to this level. And being...
You saw the not disciplined side of him as well, where
Yeah,
eating,
absolutely.
partying,
Absolutely.
everything.
He used to love his food, partying, outgoing guy. And now completely the opposite.
Manoj da, now how can we let you go before asking about an individual which you have been played under, have had a lot of respect obviously because he was a captain, but things didn't turn out to be as well as probably you both would have thought. The current India coach, Gautam Gambhir.
Right.
You've said many times that there were so many instances of confrontation. What would you tell him if you meet today, and if at all you would have liked to have a conversation? Because at the end of the day, he was your captain, and many good memories. You won the IPL with him. I will not say under him. With him, you scored the winning runs. You had massive contributions with the bat, and of course, hitting the winning runs as well. So, would you even have a conversation with him today?
Yeah, if he wants to talk to me, then definitely I will talk to him. Why not? Why not? See, at the end of the day, things which has gone, now it has gone. It's a past now. So once you grow older, each passing day, you get more matured. So there is no point in just revisiting the memories which was not good for both of us. I always, like I said, always used to respect our seniors. And that's how I did with him as well. The initial days when I was part of Indian team. So he, Virubhai, used to like me a lot from those days. So during those time, when BCCI made a mandatory thing in IPL where you have to select a one under-19 player from your local state in your franchise team, then he used to ask me whom should you recommend. In fact, I've said in one of my interviews as well that getting Sunil Narayan into the KKR, it was my suggestion to Gambhir. A discussion happened where I suggested him to pick him, and I told him because I saw Sunil Narayan getting Rohit Sharma's wicket where Rohit Sharma could not read his carom ball.
This was in the same series where he got the 100, was it?
It's difficult to recollect. But one of the series in India, I remember in Barabati there was a game, and I was not playing that game. So I thought if Rohit Sharma is not picking someone, he must be really good. So that's how I suggested him. And during those times, Gambhir used to listen to me, and that's how he came into the consideration, and KKR eventually got picked. Then there was one under-19 guy, Debabrata Das from Bengal itself. I was the one who made sure that he was there in the team, because earlier he played in one of the franchises. He was in the KKR only,
but he didn't play for 4 years.
4 years. So I suggested him that you should take him, but he's a guy who lacks confidence at times. So you make sure that whenever you get an opportunity, give him the confidence.
But he was a big find for KKR as well.
He was a big find, and if we can all recollect, there was one instance where Gambhir gave his man of the match award to Debabrata Das, and he did that. And he did that because I told him to give him the confidence. What he made sure that he gave him the confidence by handing over his man of the match trophy to Devaproto in front of the world, basically. That's how he gave confidence. And there are certain things which I really liked about Gautam Gambhir at that time. But yeah, the experiences which I had with him was not pleasant. And I felt bad about it because I can't find any reason from my side that things have gone wrong. I've always respected my seniors and
Was it like this to everyone, or just because you were seeing, you noticed?
see, eventually a lot of players have come out and said a lot of things. I cannot vouch for anyone else from here, but there's so many cricketers who have come out and said that yeah, they had also experiences which they don't want to remember with him.
Why do you think Gautam Gambhir didn't like Manoj Tiwari?
I don't know. I tried to analyze what went wrong. What were the things I have done that made him upset, or which incident happened made him look me in a different way. I never found the reason. But sometimes when you recollect, when you analyze yourself, कि what happened here, क्या हो सकता है? There can be a couple of reasons where when I was playing for KKR, I used to perform really well, and I used to be in the newspaper. And you know, when a youngster does really well, even the news people, they wants to cover a new guy, a new talent, so that they are not bored of covering the same name time and again. People wants to know about
The next big thing, the
next
new name.
talent, basically. So I used to do really well for KKR. I used to perform, and during India A match, I scored a brilliant 100 against Australian visiting team, where there were full Australian side were playing in Chennai in a friendly game in Chennai, where he scored 105 or 6 runs, and I scored 129 runs in that game. There was also one incident where he shouted at me for no reason in the break, basically, before going into the field. I recollected it pretty late when things went bad in the domestic game, which happened in Arun Jaitley stadium, where literally we came so close that umpires had to, umpire and players had to separate us. So after that, I realized, yeah, there are a couple of instances which happened earlier also. Then I recollected, yeah,
That you didn't realize then?
no, I didn't realize then. I thought, kya hua bhai? I just lived it just like that. When you leave a ball outside off term, no, in days matches, I left it like that at that time. But when things went really bad in the domestic game, where he abused me, family. In fact, he brought Saurav Ganguly into the equation, which I felt very bad and
Totally unnecessary.
unnecessary at all. And I mentioned this in the previous interview. What happened basically? What happens? For your audience and viewers, I want to make sure that it reaches the reason what happened and how this started basically. See, you know, when you wear a helmet, there is a cushion here, which is removable cushion. And I normally sweat a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have noticed that.
So the sponge, you can remove it, squeeze the.
I think it's replaceable, is it? You can
It is replaceable as well, and if you keep it to dry also, you can again wear it the next day. In Delhi, if you have visited the dressing room, you see the dressing room is above the gallery, and the dugout is below. So it takes time to come down. And you know, in the cricket, there is a rule of timeout as well. So players normally sit in the dugout, even in the Ranji Trophy as well. So they make sure that the time is enough for them to go into the pitch. So the previous day I had practiced with the team. Naturally, I was so sweaty, and obviously I removed the cushion, kept it into the chair, and the helmet, I have a habit of placing the helmet in the hanger where the clothes normally are put. So it gets dried up the next day. Okay. So what happened? So I forgot to bring the helmet. I brought all my stuff, padded up, gloves were there, and I forgot to bring the helmet. Okay, no, in fact, I brought the helmet. I put the gloves into the helmet, which is a natural thing because
of course. You carry it
you
that
carry
way,
it downstairs. But I forgot to bring the cushion with me because it was kept into the chair. I just took it out from the hanger and went to the downstairs in the dugout, padded up, ready to go next. Before the end of the day's play, there were, I think, half an hour, 40 minutes were left.
Okay.
So, during that time, visibility is there, then, and opposition captain always thinks that the next whosoever is coming, they are purposefully spending the time by delaying the time into coming into the 22-yard of the crease, where less number of overs are faced by the batter. So when suddenly the wicket fell down, obviously, as a batter you don't want to go that scenario, but
it's a very tricky part of the game.
Part of the game. So, but I naturally,
you didn't send a night watchman?
No, I never. In fact, a night watchman story is there. Where I made a big impact. After that, there was a batting position which was permanent for me in Ranji Trophy for Bengal. That I'll come to it later. But I went in. The moment I wore the helmet, I realized the helmet is loose. Helmet is loose. And I remembered that the cushion is missing. So I just signaled my extra player, 12th man, to just go quickly. By the time I will reach to the crease, you can bring it and I'll fix it there and start playing. So slowly, obviously the more you reach there, because naturally there's so much of time there. So then he started, before I was about to take guard and all, he started abusing me from the slips. He was standing at slips. So he was started abusing and all. So I replied,
just abuse, not sledging.
No, abusive, bad things, very bad things, abusive words, and which I cannot say here. And obviously I felt bad about it because it was not directed at me, it was directed to my parents, and which I never liked it from anyone else. So and no one should take it also. So I felt very bad, angry at that, and then he threatened me to beat me after the game.
And so when let's fight here.
हाँ, मैं बोला कि बाहर जाने का क्या जरूरत है, शाम को क्यों मारना, इधर ही मारो. And I completely lost it because when somebody is abusing your parents, obviously nobody will hold back. So that's how the umpires came into the scene. He also pushed the umpire if that video is out
but
there somewhere.
No repercussions on Gautam.
Yeah, he's a big player. A lot of media people were for him, na. So when you play for India for a number of years, when you're a big player, you have a big name, so people obviously favors them. And so that's how it happened. He just got a few, I think, fined, maybe 10 or 20%. I got more than that. And all the evidence was there. In Firozshah Kotla, you see the media people sits inside the ground, in a tent where all the conversations they can hear outside. So everybody knows who started it and how it ended.
But it all started from a cushion, or did it all start from the KKR dressing room itself?
KKR dressing room.
I can't understand this thing. Gautam Gambhir, being the captain of KKR, he was upset with Manoj Tiwari, who was doing well for his side. I mean,
see, it is very difficult for me to answer. It is my observation and analysis is that I can't find any other reason. I think that can be one of the reasons, I think. But he is the best person to tell. Obviously, he will not come out and say the truth. But there is no reason for me to say a wrong thing, basically. Or a lie, basically. Because
it was there for
I'm not a like what do you say, I don't comment
behind the bush, basically.
I am not someone who will comment for my like or to be relevant in the society. I have enough on my plate. I'm pretty happy, secured in life. And a young brother like you who wants to come and have a conversation in a podcast, and also where I did my last podcast, they were after me for so many months or a year, I would say. So you will not generally see me doing anything. I could easily do my own thing and say a lot of things which has happened to me. But if I want to get
In detail.
yeah, in detail, or maybe gets recognized or do it for a reason, but I don't do that. But people say that he says all these things just because he wants to come again into the limelight. I don't require that. I'm a sports deputy MOS, Minister of Sports in West Bengal. I'm doing well in broadcasting. I do coaching as well. I have a lovely young family,
You're still playing as well?
playing and loved by so many people. So I'm pretty happy. So I don't require anything else to be
You
relevant.
talked about limelight, Manoj.
Yeah.
And before we go to our last segment, you saw someone before he got the limelight or spotlight. Can we talk about that person? That is Mr. Jasprit Bumrah,
Yeah.
who actually played under you even before he made your IPL debut. Someone with that peculiar action. Now that action is copied by a lot of kids, I'm sure you've seen as well.
Yeah.
They all want to be Bumrah, but you saw him when I'm sure you must be like, okay, hang on a minute, what is this bowling action? What was your first thought of Bumrah? And did you ever think that okay, this guy has the potential to be world's #1 bowler one day?
See, I never thought that world's #1 bowler he will become, but I genuinely saw his talent because I was the captain of India A team. And when he got picked for India A, then naturally before going to the tour, we have a camp for 5-day or a 6-day. So that happened in Bangalore. And the swing which you see now from Bumrah's hand, the in-swinger to a right-hander, is less, which I saw during India A camp in Bangalore. It was more unorthodox action, quick action, unseen of, and at a very rapid pace. So it was
very quick
difficult.
even then.
Yeah, it was very quick. And it was very difficult for any batter to play him, basically. And that's how I identified him. And he was not supposed to play the first game in Australia against Australia A. Where literally, Australian team, when they make the Australia A team as well, they pick all the international current players, whosoever are free. So I made sure that he played that game because he was difficult to get picked by a batter in the nets.
Someone who comes out of syllabus basically.
Out of the syllabus. He was not into the plan. But since I saw him and I requested Lalchand Rajput, he was very cooperative. He said that, Manoj, if you are making of him play, then you play. So he got 5 wickets in the first game itself. In the unofficial test, we call it. And 3 or 4 dismissal he got by hurrying to the batter. Like the Australian batter loves playing cut and pull. True. And he got late. These 4 batters got late. And that was the sign of how quick he was and unpredictable and the sign of real genius. And now pretty happy to see him, the way he has evolved as a cricketer. No, I am not touching with any of the cricketers because I prefer giving them the space, and everybody has their own life and routine and schedule in their life. So it's always better to just leave them the way they are, because I am quite happy with my life, my things, and that's the way I like to be.
The last segment of the show, Manoj, I'll show you a few pictures.
Yeah.
That is a picture that we've spoken about already. About your bowling. Do you think you have underachieved as a bowler?
Yeah, this match I achieved 4 wickets.
4 wickets, yes. Exactly why I put it up there.
In fact, there was a 5th wicket as well. The umpire didn't give the batter out. And it was plumb. And I would have been few bowler who would have got 5 wicket after a long time. In fact, when I was at number 4 wicket, Ashwin came up to me and he whispered in my ears that, Manoj, take the 5th wicket, because no one in recent past had got a 5 wicket.
So for a long time nobody has
picked up 5 wickets in a one-day game. So it's a best chance. So in that process, what happened? I tried bowling little variation to the batters. So you see, Lasith Malinga hit me for a couple of sixes. And that variation came only after the advice of Ashwin. If I would have bowled the way I had bowled, I would have ended up getting the wicket. Maybe, but I'm not not sure, but he was kind enough to made
that
me
information.
but it didn't happen.
He's always the stats guru, no? He
Yeah,
even
he's
gave you
always
this,
been like that. He's a professor of cricket, so I see him in that way.
He was the captain also in Kings 11, I think.
Yeah, he was the captain. Yeah, so he was the captain. He was the captain. I don't want to remember him as the captain of Kings Punjab 11 because I want to remember the quality which he has as a bowler and one of the best off spinners India have ever produced.
And this picture, Manoj da, I think I would like you to take some time and talk about this picture because I'm sure it's both emotional, happy, and as you mentioned that a lot of a boj, would be a wrong word, that got off your shoulder.
Yeah.
And expectations, your coaches, your parents, so much a struggle. You spoke about a very tough childhood as well. That moment of you kissing that badge.
Yeah,
Were you in your senses then?
Yeah, I was in my senses. I was a little emotional about it. And, this is the point where I realized that
You belong.
I belong to international level. So I gave my response to all my doubters that this guy...
Best way to respond.
Yeah, best way to respond. And that's the moment. And there is other moment as well where I raised both the hands.
Both the hands, yeah.
That's the video or that the picture if you have, then you'll see the eyes closely. The literally tears were about to come, but I controlled somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a special moment, when you realize that now you belong to this particular level. And never realizing that after scoring this 100 a man to match, you will get dropped. I had no idea that.
That's the negative part, Manoj. I'm talking about this very, very special.
Yeah, but this is the thing which is interrelated to that. So the emotion part, the thought process which I'm trying to convey here, get it across that at one point of time, you are there.
Thighs.
Not knowing that what's going to happen the next moment or the next few months.
If you had scored a duck, more probably you would have been like, okay, they dropped me after a duck.
Yeah,
But
that
they
would have
dropped you after
more.
100. That's like, but that is how it transpired, Manoj da. But we all remember you as that stylish batsman who was one of the gun fielders. And back then, when you were the gun fielder, the whole revolution in Indian cricket didn't take place. So thank you for actually paving the way. Something else.
Yeah.
This moment, I think every Knight Rider fan remembers, and I will just quote Harsha Bhogle what he said, that after years of trauma and hardship, I don't think he used the word hardship. I think he used, and they have endured so much trauma and so much of drama throughout the years, and now they will celebrate. And Shah Rukh Khan, when you actually hit it for a boundary, you had two boundaries back to back.
Yeah.
The last one, when you hit, Shah Rukh Khan said that he felt the ball is going like a slow motion and he wanted to just push it away from the stands.
Oh.
And Bravo was the one bowling.
Yeah.
Simon Toole in commentary, by the way, said that he's becoming too predictable with a slower ball.
Oh, is
That's for another day. But how did you feel? Because you started celebrating even before it actually went to...
Because I knew.
You do.
Because I knew the moment I hit the ball.
When you hit the ball?
Yeah, I knew the ball is going into the gap. So that's the reason why I started running the other way. Yeah. I missed the opportunity running into the camera because all the focus shifted the other side. I ran away the other side. So I didn't get captured enough in that particular moment, which I now, whenever I think, when now you see all these winning moments of many years.
Did Gautam Gambhir give a hug that night?
Yeah, he gave me a tight hug. Everybody gave me a tight hug, all the players. And obviously Shah Rukh Khan, I was very happy for Shah Rukh Khan and for team KKR as well.
How was
because he was a very good guy.
Did he give you all the kisses?
Yeah. He just looks for an opportunity to give kisses. So that was an opportunity for him. Yeah. And more so because we saw when I came into KKR, before that a lot of things happened in South Africa. True. The teams were not doing well. There was no bonding whatsoever. The team was always into the news for the wrong reasons. Then in Delhi also, KKR lost few games before I came into other things where he gave an emotional a speech in one of the team meetings, where normally he does not give that bigger speech. Generally, he says all the very best and do well. But particularly in a Delhi game in Delhi, where we all know that he's born and raised there, and it's kind of an emotional thing for him because he, as a youngster, he used to go and watch games. So he didn't win games there from in the IPL. So that inspired me as well and motivated me as well to do well in that particular game, where he can win and give us a prize to him basically. So in one of the games we won the game. I scored 60 or 65 not out maybe. So I was very happy. So if you remember in the presentation, he came back from behind and gave me a hug as well.
Yes, that video is there.
So yeah, so that is the reason he was very excited about the fact that first time he won, I guess. And then in the finals, obviously he stood up in the railing. I wanted to give that particular pose, but the people around him thought that he's going to jump.
Usha Uttop and Jay Mehta were
Pulling him down, not realizing that he wanted to stand up there and give his signature style pose.
But you know, when you hit the second last boundary, I think he was looking more nervous than you were. Because the cameras are focusing.
Yeah, obviously, see, the people who are watching, it looks pretty easy from outside that, it's just a matter of two boundaries. Anybody would have gone and
Bravo at the other end.
thrown Bravo and Chennai Super Kings at that
home.
time. At home, unbeatable team. And you know, when God has planned something for you, it happens.
True.
I am a firm believer in destiny. So what happened in that particular game, I was supposed to go at number 4.
Okay.
Since the required run rate was much higher than they thought, management thought that we needed some more powerful hitter who hits far.
I think Lokida went ahead.
Before Lokida, Yusuf Pathan went ahead. Yusuf, I don't think had a great season that year.
No, I think he had a very good qualifier one. That's why he was.
Maybe, so he was sent ahead. Then they thought the Lakshmi Bhai would go and do the job, but he also missed out. Then Shakib also went ahead. So from 4 I went to 7.
Oh, so you batted after Shakib?
Yeah, I went after Shakib. So, but I was very confident. See, the only one thing which gives me which is my USP, that is confidence. So no matter what the situation is, I was confident. If you see my face from the very first ball, in fact, I was telling Shakib, don't worry, match is in our hand. We just need couple of boundaries. Game is in our control. So that's what happened. And,
As you said, destiny, you hit the winning run.
so 2 Bengali guys, one from the other side, not from here, made the Kolkatans and Bengalis proud and brought these smiles back onto the faces after so many years. And you know how the celebration happened here. It was memorable one. And
Lot safer than Bengaluru, I'm sure.
absolutely, not safer. Yeah.
Manoj, the last picture I want to show you. Any recollection from this photograph, the chap beside you?
See, I would have not recognized this until unless you have said to me before showing the picture that it was you. I would have taken a little bit of more time to recollect, since I've got short-term memory loss kind of a thing happening with me for past few years. But yeah, now see that picture and now I see you. So you have grown very quickly, but good. That cuteness, that innocence is still there in your face.
Oh,
That I can observe that sitting
very,
there.
very generous of you. But Manoj, from all of us here, firstly, thank you again for your valuable time today. I know you have a very busy schedule, and all the best for the remaining games of a Bengal Pro 20. I know you've told me off camera that you want to give the youngsters more opportunities, but I'll be tuning in to watch you bat, and wish you all the very best. And of course, we'll be in touch. And again, thank you from all of us, from all cricket fans. Just remember that all that has happened, with all the injustice and things could have gone this way, that way, we all love you for what you are and for all the joys that you've given. And rightly, as you mentioned, you brought back the joy to the people of Kolkata after hitting not just the winning runs. The credit can be taken by any individual, but you played one of the key roles, one of the strongest pillars of that triumphant KKR side in 2012. So thank you and all the love to you, Manoj.
Thank you. Before ending, I just want to thank you also and your team for giving this opportunity over the line with you.
Pleasure, Manoj.
And also to all the people. I'll take this opportunity to thank once again because this is one thing which I always take an opportunity to thank all the people who have been part of my cricketing journey. Smallest to smallest one and biggest to biggest one. And more, the biggest one was my wife basically. Because without her support during the times when I was not recognized as a under 19 India guy, we were in a relationship from that time onwards.
Where did you meet her?
So in Howrah only.
Okay.
In Howrah, over the phone and all. It all started, but she has been a backbone for me because from a aggressive Manoj to a calmer Manoj, it's all because of her. And yeah, I want to thank her as well, my coach, coaches, and my childhood coach as well. So they all have been very supportive and a pillar in my journey. I don't know how much I have achieved as a cricketer, but as a person, I've grown a lot. And all thanks to my wife, Shushmita.
Thank you, Manoj.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you. Manoj, there is a small gift for you as well.
Oh,
This.
কি আছে?